Welcome to Narrow Ground Entertainment. I'm Steve the Unimpressed. This is episode 7 of COVID Besieged. Since I am not able to work right now because one of my family members was tested positive for COVID-19, I am taking the opportunity to make a YouTube video a day until I'm able to go back to work. When God gives you lemons, make the best of it. Today's episode is going to be focused mostly on fighting the 7th day Horde, because it is day 7, and, well, that's what happens in 7 days to die. On day 7, you have a lot of zombies to fight. That actually doesn't start until evening if you're not familiar with the game, so I have a little while to prepare yet, which is good because I have plenty of preparations left over to make. One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to the trader and sell off my excess blunderbusses. Blunderbuss I don't know what the plural of blunderbuss is. What I do know is that I don't need 4 of them anymore. When you're selling equipment to the trader in this game, the price is partially dependent on how full the durability bar is, that green bar that includes the quality level. So underneath the picture of the blunderbuss up there, there's the number 2, which is the quality level, and a green bar, which indicates how much durability it has left. If that bar drops all the way, the weapon won't work again until you repair it. And if the durability bar is completely empty, I'm not even sure if you can sell it to the trader at that point. You might have to repair it to even be able to sell it to him. Since the price that the trader will give you for the item is dependent in part on the durability, it is generally worth repairing the item all the way if you're going to sell it to the trader. For that, you use repair kits. The guideline that I generally use to determine whether or not I want to repair something before I sell it to the trader, or probably just scrap it and not even sell it to the trader, is, do I stand to gain more in price than the cost of one repair kit by repairing the item? Often for quality 1 items, the answer to that is no. You can see the tactical assault rifle that I purchased from the trader has an almost full durability bar, but the sell price is still only 81 casino tokens. Not even, or barely more than twice as much as the cost of a single repair kit. I usually don't sell quality 1 weapons to the trader at all. I usually scrap them, because they scrap to the parts that you need to make the same weapon. So the tactical assault rifle, for instance, would scrap to machine gun parts. If I wanted to scrap my rifle, it would scrap to rifle parts, and I could use those later to build another machine gun of higher quality, if I have the right skills. In the case of the blunderbuss, it is almost certainly worth repairing it, because this costs less than a repair kit to repair, because it isn't repaired with a repair kit. It's actually repaired by a short iron pipe. And those are dirt cheap. So unless you are strapped for iron and don't have a good source of iron nearby, which I am kind of strapped for iron right now, but I do have a good source of iron nearby, so I don't really need to melt down all my short iron pipes. It is well worth repairing the blunderbuss before I go to sell it. That quality 2 blunderbuss went from being worth 39 tokens because of its because of its durability status to being worth 100. And the quality 3 jumps up to 180. And all it cost me was a couple of short iron pipes, which aren't worth very much to begin with. Repair kits are something you can make yourself. You don't have to find them. Like I have found all 5 of these, but later on in the game you can make them yourself, and they are not horribly expensive. The recipe for them is 1 forged iron and 1 duct tape. Both of those are things you can make yourself, and they aren't incredibly expensive, despite what it has looked like in this series so far with me making forged iron. Forged iron is fairly difficult to get in the first few days of a playthrough, but after that it becomes very easy to obtain. Now, while I have been yammering on about repair costs and whether or not to repair something and how expensive repair kits are, the day has progressed enough that if you look up at the top of the HUD, you can see that the day number is now red. So that indicates that you're going to get that the coming night is going to be a Horde night. So lots of zombies are going to spawn, they're going to come to kill you. That number usually turns red around 8, I'm not sure why it turns red at 8 instead of at 4 when it becomes day officially, but that's just the way it is, I guess. One of the options that you can change is to alter the timing of the Horde nights. They don't have to be on the 7th day. You can alter it so that they'll be a little bit more random, so it could occur anywhere from, say, the 5th day to the 10th day. I don't know what the actual range that you can set is, but I know you can randomize it a little bit more than this. I have never bothered to do that. I like a nice, predictable Day 7 Horde. Uh-oh. Zombies respawn in points of interest earlier than loot does. But at least this will give me the chance to try out my rifle. Very effective. Well, now that I've cleaned this place out a second time, I'm going to start modifying the barn. I'm going to start putting in place more of these wood frame blocks so I can walk around up here without falling down. The benefit of the wood frame blocks is that I can still shoot through them. If I upgrade them into wood floor, I won't be able to do that anymore. So I'm just going to leave them as unfinished wood frame. Before I do that, I'm actually going to head back downstairs and tear up the car and some of the other mechanical items that are down here in the garage area of this barn. That way, if the zombies wind up tearing this area up fairly badly during the night, which is likely, I've already gotten as much benefit as I can from this area. The new floor up here is completed, so now I'm going to run back to base and collect the rest of my supplies, drop off anything I don't need for the fight, and probably make sure that I have enough food and water with me because I am running low on both of those. I've completed my supply run and the Horde Day storm is starting to kick up, so now's as good a time as any to take out this ladder. I'm not sure what that lowest rung there is still attached to. I was kind of expecting that to fall after I knocked out the first one. Probably to that trim piece there, even though it's not actually in contact with it. The physics are a bit wonky sometimes. But I've taken out enough of it that the zombies won't be able to climb it, and that's what matters. Now I just have to wait for them to show up, which should be around 10 o'clock. I always wind up, especially in the earlier days of the game, going into my fortification probably significantly earlier than I really need to. But I'd rather be here early and twiddle my thumbs waiting for them to show up than get here late and get eaten on my way up. For this event, I brought along all the weapons that I have and all the ammunition that I have for those weapons. I also brought with me 250 feathers, which will let me make arrows if I run out of other ammunition. So I got my bow back out that I haven't used since, I think, episode 1, maybe episode 2. It's not the most effective weapon for this situation, and I would much rather use the rifles for as long as I can. In a pinch, it'll do. With it being the first Horde night, I don't see myself burning through 158 rounds of rifle ammo, but it could happen. One thing I will do before the Horde starts showing up is assign the last skill point that I have. I'm going to assign that to the Perception perk because that is going to help with my rifle damage. If I were able to purchase it right now, I would purchase the second level of the Deadeye perk, but I need Perception, the base attribute, to leveled up to level 3 before I can do that, and I don't have that until now. But I'm out of skill points, so I can't buy them both. By the end of the night, though, I should have several more skill points to spend. Horde Knights are very good for experience. $10 and there's the noise that indicates the zombies are on their way. Let them come. Hey, they're in the building now. There's one. There's a couple. Guys, could you hold still? From the sound of things, he was the last one. The zombies do not spawn infinitely on Horde Knights, although later on in the game it may as well be infinitely because they will keep spawning until dawn. The first Horde Knight is generally relatively easy, especially if you're able to get into a good position like this with a good weapon like the rifle. Most of the time on the first Horde Knight, I actually don't have a rifle At best, for firearms, I may have a pistol, but mostly I wind up relying on a bow. So this night went very well. Still, even though it sounds like there aren't going to be any more zombies spawning tonight, I am not going to risk it. I am not going to venture down from here until the It's Morning sound plays at 4. Then I will go down and pick up the couple of loot bags that those guys dropped, and then we'll call it an episode. There's our It's Morning noise, so it's now officially safe to come down. Let's see what goodies they left us. Now that's handy. A lot of water, which is good. But more importantly, a AK-47 machine gun schematic. So now I know how to make an AK-47. And the other loot bag, not so good. Some relatively low quality armor and some chili. Oop. No need to shoot it though. The zombies did do a fair bit of damage to this barn, but they didn't do enough damage to make it an unsafe structure though, so if I need to use this barn again for another Horde night, it will still serve. For now though, I'm going to head back to my base and put this stuff away, and I think that will be the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel to see more content, and if you would like to help my channel grow, share it with your friends. Join me tomorrow for episode 8 as I begin the second week of surviving the zombie apocalypse. Goodbye and God bless.